Rumour mongering. Liverpool target €30 million Real Betis midfielder. Liverpool are said to be interested in 26-year-old Argentina international Guido Rodriguez. After being heavily linked with a series of midfielders to start the summer, things have rather gone quiet for Liverpool in the land of rumour mongering in recent weeks. But with the season fast approaching and the transfer window ticking away, that could change. If it does, one name to keep an eye on could be Real Betis and Argentina midfielder Guido Rodriguez, a 27-year-old destroyer coming off an impressive first full season in Europe, and a player who's now being linked with a Liverpool move by Spanish outlet La Razón. Rodriguez took the long route to European football, starting out his career with River Plate in his homeland but then moving north to Liga MX to play first with Tijuana and then Club America before heading to La Liga in January of 2020 in a deal worth around €3 million. Last season, he played 38 games for Betis, and while he chipped in with 2 goals, it's his tackling, interceptions, and yellow card numbers that would have had him first amongst Liverpool midfielders, that speak to his talents in the middle of the pitch. Previously this summer he was linked with a move to Arsenal, with Betis said to be willing to do a deal for around €30 million, but as with Liverpool's links to the likes of Saul Niguez and Renato Sanchez and Florian Neuhaus, that talk has gone quiet in recent weeks. It's hard to say, then, just how much weight to put in the player now being linked with Liverpool, and it could well represent nothing more than Betis trying to drum up business, looking to turn a quick profit on a player they signed on the cheap 18 months ago. Still, depending on just what the Reds are looking for in the midfield reinforcement that they do seem as though they have to sign eventually, there's a case for Rodriguez as a slightly older and more established defensive option who wouldn't cost a fortune. Harry Kane sends Liverpool an FSG unwanted reminder as Luis Suarez change underlined. Liverpool owners Fenway Sports Group will be aware of what is happening at Tottenham Hotspur with Harry Kane. There's precious room for sentiment in the ruthless world of elite football. But Liverpool owners Fenway Sports Group would be forgiven for having the slightest pang of sympathy for Tottenham Hotspur chairman Daniel Levy on Monday morning. The news Harry Kane had reportedly failed to turn for training as expected heightened suggestions the forward wants out of the Londoners, with Manchester City having long led the chase for the £100 million rated England man. Kane had hinted as much in a frank interview in May when he declared needing a conversation with Tottenham about his future given his desire to play in the Champions League. Tottenham, by finishing 7th last season, are instead preparing for the playoffs in the inaugural Europa Conference League. While Jurgen Klopp is a huge admirer of Kane, the exorbitant price tag makes any Liverpool interest in the 28-year-old a complete non-starter, although, with City again the Reds' main challengers for the Premier League crown in the coming campaign, a close eye will be kept on proceedings. Not least because Tottenham now face a problem all too recognizable to FSG, albeit one that has thankfully been banished from Anfield. Players wanting to move on to further their careers is nothing new. Nor is them kicking up a bit of a fuss in attempting to ensure the transfer goes through. Liverpool discovered that in the summer of 2013 when Luis Suarez criticized the club for not allowing him to join Arsenal, centered around disagreement over a disputed £40 million clause in his contract. Suarez was banished from first-team training by then-boss Brendan Rodgers before being reintegrated into the squad. He went on to notch 31 goals in 37 appearances as Liverpool finished Premier League runners-up, but was gone to Barcelona for £65 million within weeks. In 2015, Raheem Sterling, amid strong interest from Manchester City, phoned in sick for his first day of preseason training, having rejected a new contract and infuriated Liverpool with a controversial BBC interview early in the year. Sterling had already requested not to go on Liverpool's tour to the Far East, and although he did turn up at Melwood, he was gone to City within days in a £49 million deal. With Barcelona again sniffing around Anfield, Philippe Coutinho slapped in a transfer request in August 2018 as he recovered from a back problem. Liverpool ignored it. As with Suarez, Coutinho responded by producing the best football of his Reds career before the Catalan outfit's £142 million offer was simply too good to resist in January 2018. All three wantaways had bolstered his reputations at Liverpool but departed in the belief they could further their careers and increase their chances of silverware elsewhere. In truth, their respective stances were, by and large, justified. Since Coutinho, though, there has been no sign of any leading Reds player looking to jump ship in a similar manner, predominantly in the knowledge they are part of a team that has proven they are capable of not just challenging for top honors, but also winning them. Liverpool, of course, denied Kane such an accolade by beating Tottenham in the Champions League final in 2019, prompting a run of silverware that culminated in last year's Premier League title. Tottenham have won nothing since. Now Kane has become a major problem at his club, the type of which Liverpool are successfully keeping firmly in their past.
Harry Kane has effectively ruled himself out of Tottenham's season opener against Manchester City. The once-away Spurs striker has not returned to Hotspur's way following his time off after his Euro 2020, as he actually looks for a forced move through to Manchester City. Harry Kane was actually expected to be back for the start of his pre-season on Monday this week, but the England captain has been on holiday in the Bahamas and has now made a pit stop in Florida. Now, according to reports, Kane remains in America, and while he still plans to return by the weekend, isolation protocols mean he will not start any training until next week, making featuring against Man City on August 15 a failure. Now, in other news, Inter Milan fans have warned the club over any sale of star striker Romelu Lukaku to Chelsea. The Champions League winners are testing Inter's resolution and resolve over Lukaku with a string of offers this summer. They actually put out £100 million offer already, as Thomas Tuchel looks to bolster his forward line. And Inter have said they will not sell, but concerned ultras have strung up a banner warning that promises must be kept. That is what these Inter Milan fans were saying. Promises must be kept. They want Romelu to stay, and they want him to stay there for long. But we will have to wait to see what will happen with that. Now, before I go, let's look at Liverpool. And Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson Becker has signed a new 6-year deal with the club, keeping him at Anfield until 2027. The Brazilian is actually the third Liverpool player to agree an extension this summer, following Trent Alexander-Arnold and midfielder Fabinho. In his own words, Alisson said, "I think I did not waste too much time to think about that. It's something we just built in those last 3 years. The confidence, the trust that I have in the club and the club has in myself. Me and my family, we are really happy here. My kids are settled in England, in a different country, but they are growing up in that way, so we are really happy. I'm really glad that I can keep going on with my work here, doing a good job here. So I'm really happy to make this decision. That is not hard for me." Those were the words by Alisson Becker. And yeah, that is what is happening with Liverpool.